Well, hey, and welcome to video 3.2.0, where we're going to be cleaning up our code a little bit, because up till now, our design code that works out what all our lines are, and our SVG code that is writing them all out to a file, it's kind of all mixed in together. And when we sit down at the desk in a moment, we're going to be separating those two things out into two separate parts. The first bit is going to be putting our design together and packaging it all up into an array. And the second part is going to be taking that array, unpacking it all again, and then writing it out to an SVG file. And we're going to do that by bringing together our arrays and our loops that we previously learned, and then use our loops to step over our arrays. It's going to look something like this. So what we've been doing is we've been making our design out of lines that are made up of points. And what happens is we generate the line and then immediately write it out as an SVG file, move on to the next one, work out all these points, write it out as an SVG file. In the last one, we looked at bundling all these up. Here's a line, 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 into the all lines array here. And then we can reference those lines by going, this is the first line, which is in position 0, in position 1, in position 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to use a loop to step through these lines. It's a bit like the while loop, where we're going to go while the index is less than the length of the line. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines in this array. So while I is less than 5, so we're going to start at 0, we're going to go I is equal to 0, it's less than 5, add 1 to it, it's less than 5, add 1 to it, 3, 4, we're going to grab each one of those lines. And then once we have a line, we can step through the points. Here's the first one, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then as we update this, we'll go back to here and start at 0 again, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this will work even if the lines all have a different number of points in it, because it could be like that. And then this one will go through 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one has got a length of 3, so we'll go 0, 1, 2. This one's got a length of 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, until we go through all the lines, and then we're going to go through all the points. And that's how we package things up. As we generate a line, we push it into the array. When we come to display it, we're going to read that entry back out of the array. Later on, we're also going to put an if statement in there in future videos, where we're choosing if we're going to do something with that line. But for the moment, let's just package it up and then unpackage it again. Let's go over here. All right, this is going to be a little bit of fun, just a tiny bit of tidying up. We've got our setup as usual. We've got our browser. Let's quickly go to Tools, Browser Tools, Web Developer Tools, and we're on the console so we can check for any bugs. Downloads folder, probably won't use that much. And let's go grab the last thing that we did and drop it into here. And we're going to make it bigger in a second, but I just want to go over this. At the top here, we've got our download function, and then we've got all our SVG stuff here. We've got some code where we do stuff, and we're mixing in the SVG here, and that's the bit that we're going to tidy up. So first things first, we're going to take all of this SVG stuff down here. Let's make it bigger so we can see what's going on. And we're going to move it down to the bottom of the page, down to here. Okay, so that's that bit. And then this, we're just going to move it out of here, because we're also going to be doing this, coming back to it in a second, just here. So let's view out a little bit. All our SVG stuff is down here at the bottom. All our design stuff is up here at the top where it should be. So we're keeping them together now. And if we have a quick look, we'll zoom in again here. We've got our console all lines. Let us take that index, drop it over there, and we can see over in the debug here, we've got this array that we had last time, exactly the same. There's all our lines. And now we want to do that thing where we loop over the array. And this is kind of straightforward. You've got to remember, in this one that's got 5 points in it, it starts at 0, so it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 5 elements in it. So we're going to go for let index would be the correct one, because the index starts at 0 and goes through, equals 0, set it to the first one. And then while the index is less than all lines.length, so while it's less than 5, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that works for any length of the array. We're going to go index plus equals 1, and then we're going to go looping over. So if we just go console log all lines, actually let's do it this way. Let's go const this line equals all lines index. console log this line. Okay, cool. Let's get rid of this console here. Gone. And this means that we should be looping over the all lines array. So let's refresh this. Okay, very similar on the right here. Seems to be working. So that's great. So let's pop this back in. And instead of line here, we go this line. So I'm just going to do all of these here. Excuse me while we do this. And now when we run this, it should loop over here and then put all these paths back in here. Let's refresh it. Okay, here we go with all our paths back in here. We've got them all back, which is great. Just a little thing that I think we ought to do. Index is true and it's good, but we're just going to shorten this to I, just because it's easier to write and it takes up less space here. So we're going to go like that. That's what we'd normally do. We'll go I, and if we need another one, which we will in a moment, we're going to use J. So back to the question of, but what happens if my line has thousands of points in it? Well, we're just going to tweak this a little bit. So a line always starts like this with a path, and we're going to move to the first pair of numbers. Okay, get rid of that a second. And at the end here, it always ends with this. So body plus equals. Okay, so the line always starts with that, always finishes with that. Let's refresh this. Okay, we've got all our empty lines here. And now we're just going to go through all the points in the line. So same as this line here, for let, going to go up a letter J equals 0, cool. While J is less than this line dot length, there we go, J plus equals 1. So now we have this line, and as we know from over here, the line is made up of a number of points that have XY coordinates. So in the same way we grabbed this line, we're going to go const this point is equal to this line J. So we're going to start at the first one, the second point, the third point, however many points, we're going to have this point here. Let's just do a console log on this point again. And there's going to be way too much stuff over here. Let's refresh it. Okay, here's all the points. They all have XY coordinates. So let's go body plus equals this point X, this point Y, and we'll stick a space on there. And now if we refresh this, we've got all the points back. It's got this extra space here. We don't worry about that. Let's get rid of this console over here. Okay, so now this works when we have all lines. For all the lines, there can be 10 lines, 10,000 lines, a million lines. And there can be a varying number of points in each of those lines. And this will let us just step through all of those, which is kind of cool. So if we just step back a little bit and zoom out, it means that this bit here doesn't need to change now. This will handle our page width, and it will handle our page height, and here it'll handle all the lines that we throw at it. So this never changes now. When we play with our design, this is the bit up here. This bit is our design. They're now two separate things. So if we wanted to, we could kind of go, okay, this is visually broken up into these different sections. I'm going to go back to here again because I don't like us being that confused. Because I think this bit here could be a little clearer. We're kind of going this line and then this point. That's a little bit weird. So we're going to do one last thing over here, which is going back to how we work with dictionaries. And it's not a huge change, but I think it'll make life slightly easier going forwards. So where we have this line here, we're going to turn this into a dictionary object. We're actually going to go points. So points is now a property of the line object. We're just going to do this and add points in here. So all lines, we have a add a line to it, and that line has a number of points. So if we go back down here and we go add points in here, it's starting to make more sense. So as we go through this line, points length, the number of points in it, and nothing should change here. Okay, it's all still working, which is good. But it allows us to do the useful thing of up here of going, which we'll use in the future. We're going to add a layer. It's going to be layer 1, let's say. Stroke equals true. Fill equals false. So now this line actually has a property that we're going to say this line lives in layer 1, and we're going to run a stroke around it, but we're not going to fill in this line, and here are the points. Not going to use these now, but we will be using them in the future, especially when we go to start putting the margins back on things again. And just to prove that it works, I'm going to refresh this, hit save, go into the downloads folder. There it is. There's all our squares. We're exactly where we were before, but we've cleaned up the code now, and it's going to be a lot better. Now, let me just go back over here. So there we go. That seems like quite a small change, but I think it's fairly fundamental to how we're going to work, because now we've got the design separated out to the top, and we're writing out the SVG at the bottom. In the next video, we're going to take that same package of lines and write it out to a canvas so we can actually preview and see what we're doing. And in the one after, we're going to write it out to G-code just to show that we can, and we don't have to do anything different with our design. That still works up here. We can just choose how and where we're going to send the end result to. And then in the very final video in this module, we're going to take this write SVG, write to canvas, write to G-code, and turn those into separate functions in another file that we just keep pulling in. So our file is purely all about focusing on the design and what we want to do. And if you felt a little bit lost with all the looping, I'm going to have these files all up on the GitHub again, so the link will be down there below. I'm going to split it into actually 3 different files so we can see the steps through and add a whole bunch of comments in them that will help you. And then I think as we do the same process of looping over all these lines again and again in the next couple of videos, it will really get us set up for when we move into module 4 and we start doing more stuff with our lines other than just drawing squares all the time. All right, I'll see you in the next video.